Alright, I'm gonna try some lightning bolts and some orcs.
Okay.
He has 10 toughness, right?
Mad Guts right now? Yeah, 10 toughness and 2 armor, yeah.
So I have to roll 10 to actually deal damage. Fuck that. Right.
Well, you need to roll above 12 now, so. Because he has 2 armor as well, so.
Yep. Doing lightning bolts. I get 2. I'll fire one at the one fighting Mira and the one fighting Boone.
Alright. They will try to dodge.
There's the first one at the top one.
Okay. Tries to dodge, he fails.
Alright.
So that's 6 damage. So that actually kills that orc.
And then one at Boone.
Okay. Tries to dodge, he fails. So that does 5 damage and kills that orc.
Woo!
Lightning everybody.
Yay.
Fuck. Oh, by the way, my image disappears.
Oh, yeah.
Right, I'm gonna try to manifest more lightning.
I'm like imagining Zarkov throwing lightnings from here and then teleporting here and throwing more lightnings.
Yep, that's basically what happens.
Like a badass.
So who
Like
did you throw that,
Zeus.
sorry?
I'm gonna throw one at this guy down here and one at that guy up. Actually,
Can you even hit that?
Yeah.
You can't really see the dude down here because he fell off a cliff. So.
I can't really see anyone, to be honest, but I guess I sense their presences. Or
Okay, well you still need line of effect. So I mean, if you shoot lightning at him, you'll be shooting it at the ground. So.
Okay.
It's 20, Pippin. It's right here. That's
it's 20 meters as well. Yeah.
Is that only 20?
It's
Yes,
only
per
20. It's probably
PR.
by far when you get.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's actually more. It's
Yeah, because I
30,
overbleed
actually.
like.
Oh, he overbladed, yeah.
Yeah,
over
it's
the
per
20.
5. So. Alright, I'll fire one at the top and one at the bottom. Like again,
Yeah.
so that one and that one.
Okay.
First one at the top. Oh shit. There we go.
That'll do no damage anyway.
Next one.
Okay, let's go. We'll try to dodge. He fails, so that is 6 damage. So that orc dies.
Oh yeah, triple kill. And then I'm gonna do distort vision again.
Okay, go for it. Still waiting for the 9 that kills everybody.
And it doesn't go off.
Okay.
Is it, since it's a free action, if I fail it, can I not do it again?
No, because you only have 1 free action a turn.
Alright,
So-
okay. Can I spend my reaction to do one?
No.
Okay.
You can't turn other turns into different things in this game.
Alright, okay.
Alright, so this guy's no longer blind, he stands up, and then he starts to climb.
Alright, no, it's more of can I spend my reaction to actually do another spell that requires my reaction, type thing.
If you have a spell that requires reaction to be done, then yeah, sure.
Alright, okay, resist possession. There you go, done. That lasts for an hour.
Just in case the demon host pops up, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Fair enough.
That lasts for an hour and I get to re-roll fail tests.
Okay. Zork tries to climb, and he does climb, so he climbs up the cliff. Okay. Zork boy here is dead. Flo, your actual turns can now happen.
Oh my actual fuck. Okay. I will aim a single shot with my auto gun that has a red dot laser sight at Mad Guts.
Right. So plus 10 for, plus 20 for the aim, plus 10 for the red dot sight, plus 10 for his size, and then minus 20 because he's melee, so plus 20 overall.
And then don't I do everything also at a minus 10 because I'm scared or something?
Yeah.
So it's just plus 10?
Yeah. That is a miss. Unless you want to reroll or anything.
I'd like to reroll before we all die.
Yeah, go for it. Okay, that's the jam.
Do auto pistols have reliable?
I don't think
No.
auto guns have reliable now. So you are jammed. Okay. Boone, your turn.
Okay, so this guy is climbed up.
Yeah, this orc who was jumping off cliffs accidentally and banging his head.
Just saying, Boone. War boss is about to kill our mission right now.
Okay. I'll be firing into melee then. So.
Yeah.
But it's our mission, man. Our mission.
Right, I quick draw my hell gun and semi-auto into him.
Okay, so +10 for size, +10 for the semi-auto, +10 for the hell gun, and then -20 for...
So +10.
Well, actually, you have fatigue as well, so it's just
So
flat, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
+10 from natural hell gun if you didn't...
Yeah, we already counted
We
that
did.
first.
Alright.
Yeah. Alright, so you hit, you can't dodge or anything, so roll damage. Okay, no damage.
Fucking hell.
You always roll low on the damage. It's like...
Yeah.
You have nothing above a 5. It's like, crazy. Alright, that's your turn. This orc boy here is dead. Alright, so let me just read the rule of this again. The target can either lay down and stay blah blah blah, or continue to take actions, though each round at the end there is a 20% chance that Jagged pierces organisms and kills it. Okay, so he takes the action first and then he might die. So let's see. He will... Yeah, he'll swing at Colonel Demetris because he hasn't got anything else to do. Or he can't do anything else anyway. And he hits Colonel Demetris. Colonel Demetris tries to dodge. Colonel Demetris dodges.
Thank fuck.
Roll empty to 100.
Nope, he's not dead.
Aww.
Okay, this orc boy here. Where is this orc boy? Oh, he's up there. Okay, he fires everything he has at Mira. And he hits you twice with his shooter, Mira.
Gonna dodge.
Go. Okay, you dodge one of them. You can bump it over to dodge the second if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, he misses then. Flycus, your turn.
Okay. Right, so I've got fully loaded gun right now.
Yep.
I also have crack shot, so that's I'm going to be shooting at mad guts. So crack shots do more damage when they're in like.
Crack shot.
Yeah,
It adds 2 to critical damage. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's shoot him with my long las, and it's accurate. So I'm.
So if you take a half aim, it's +20. It's accurate, gives you a +10. Does it have a laser sight on it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's +40.
Size.
He's on the ground.
He's not on the
-10?
ground. He's not on the ground. Yeah. So he's in melee, so it's -20. So it would have been +20 overall.
Did you do size as well, Hawking?
Yeah, I'm including size.
Alright.
Alright.
Nice.
Yep, so he can't dodge, so roll damage and then roll 2d10 as well. Yeah, well, that does no damage, but the others hurt it, so 2d10. Okay, so 19 damage, pen 1, and his... Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Take
7.
11 away from that.
So 7 and then plus so 9 damage, so 9 divided by 2
Gets to -10, right?
is 4, so adding 4. Or, sorry, there we go, it's -11, so yeah, he actually dies.
Hurrah!
So that's energy damage, right?
Yay.
And you hit him in the arm, so let's see what happens to him.
This is with crack shot as well, which is the +2 to critical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you only have to deal 3 damage to him.
Okay, so energy damage to the arm. Okay. The attack reduces the arm to a cloud of ash and sends the target crumbling to the ground, where they immediately die from the shock, clutching their smoking stump. So that's the end of Skargrod Mad Guts.
How did the orcs react?
Not well. Okay. Colonel Demetris wheels on the orcs that are still alive and starts firing. He hits that orc over there twice. Orc tries to dodge. Fails. And does 2 damage to it. This orc boy here is dead. This orc boy here is sees the war boss die, and he just says, he just starts screaming something and then runs off. Mira, your turn.
Is shooting a flamer a full turn?
Yes.
Damn it.
You're in range.
No, but I have to switch. I have that ball pistol right now.
You don't have quick draw.
Nope. I do not. Guess I'll take out my last pistol instead then and take a shot.
Okay. So single shot, it will just be flat. Ooh, you barely hit, so he tries to dodge. He fails, roll damage. Alright, 1 damage. Alright, Victus, your turn. And yeah, you heard that orc scream something like, "Let's get out of here!" And just like run off.
I need George, by the way, if you're trying to say anything.
Pressing the wrong button. Okay, I aim at the bottom one and shoot.
Okay. Alright, so the bottom one already tried to dodge, so roll damage.
And 2d10.
Yeah. So 10 damage. That'll kill that orc. Zarkov, your turn.
Alright. Lightning bolt time. One lightning bolt. And it just can hit you. Oh, shit. 6, no damage.
No damage.
Trying again. And that actually I can't reach him.
Alright, so nothing happens.
Yeah.
Alright, this orc boy here is dead. Flo, your turn.
Okay. Problem is my autogun's jammed, so... And this guy's just like 30 meters, which is the maximum range of my other 2 remaining guns.
Probably gonna run away. Just try and unjam your gun.
Yeah. How does that work again? Do I have to roll?
You just make a ballistic skill test. And,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, 2 of us have a rifle that can reach him.
Alright, Boone, your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him with the hell gun. Plus 20, is it? Semi-auto and hell
if you
gun.
aim at short range, what's the range of the weapon?
It is 110 meters.
Yeah, then yeah, okay. So plus 20, then plus 10 for the Helgon is plus 30.
Yeah, minus 10 for fatigue.
Oh
right?
yeah,
So-
correct. So you hit. He can't dodge this time around. So he fails to dodge, so roll damage. Okay, no damage except for the 13, which is 5 damage.
Yay. Man, I need to get some new weapons.
It's dead.
Oh, you just need to roll better.
1d10 plus 4, it's like no damage.
Look at the pen though. The pen is what's the best.
Yeah, I can take out the tank with it.
Yeah.
But
You need something that's like, just get like a hunting rifle, man. And just like roll really well and get like an extra 2d10.
So he runs to there, and that's his turn. Ficus, your turn.
I will sniper rifle the orc boy that is running away.
Okay.
Half aim.
So plus 20, accurate, red dot sight is plus 40, but then he's running, so he's a hard target, so it's minus 20. So just plus 20. Yeah, but you definitely hit him. So roll
Boom!
damage and then 2d10.
That headshot, by the way.
Yep, so headshot. It's like bang, smack between the eyes, actually.
Oh yeah.
So that's 6 damage, which kills the orc exactly. So that orc gets shot between the eyes as he runs.
Hear a thundering voice, just shout boom headshot.
And probably the best shot of the entire fight, right at the end. Ficus is apparently a legendary sniper and forgot to inform everybody.
What about my amazing lightning bolt throwing?
Lightning bolt was
Pretty
pretty
good.
good, yeah.
Love lightning bolt.
I like the way you learned lightning bolt right before this fight, or like right in the middle of it.
Yep.
It's like the fucking Emperor came to you and said, "Use the Force, Luke."
Yeah.
I mean,
I was just so pissed off at these orcs for not like letting us go. It's just like I manifested some shit, son.
I mean, you've seen your hair, right? Your hair is basically lightning bolts. You're just like plucking hairs out of your head and throwing them at
Yeah.
them.
So you guys have never seen Zarkov shoot lightning before, but he got very angry there and started shooting lightning and randomly disappearing and reappearing. And sometimes you weren't sure if there was 2 or 3 Zarkovs. So yeah, there you go.
Basically, you saw him efficient in a fight for once, the first time ever.
yeah, do I gain any insanity from that?
No, thankfully. I mean, it was pretty weird, but you're already convinced Zarkov is like insane. So
Yeah.
Alright, so you have a bunch of dead orcs. Demetris, starts unclogging his guns, orders what men he has left, take stock of inventory and things like that. Pick up the flamer from this guy, and we'll do the usual nonsense. That guy becomes that guy. They gather up the dead, including the sergeant, who Demetris seems to have been friends with, and he insists that you spend at least an hour or so burying the 2 men.
Wait, how many sniper rifles do we now have?
Same amount.
Same amount. 3 snipers, 1 flamer, and 1 las gun Imperial Guardsman.
Oh, okay. So none of the snipers died. Okay.
Yeah, none of them have died so far. Snipers are actually been carrying you through this. They've killed quite a few things.
Yeah.
Did the orcs have any looted weapons on them?
The orcs have shooters, choppers, 1 each, and Mad Guts has a mega chopper. Okay, so you can pick them up, but word to the wise, you can use orc weapons. But when an orc weapon is used by anyone that isn't an orc, they gain the inaccurate, the unreliable, and the unbalanced or unwieldy traits. Okay.
Yeah, I doubt we can sell them for anything as well.
Because
Okay.
only orcs know how to make them work, crude as they are.
There's just like some bolts in there if we open it up. Just like
Yeah,
rattling
like
around.
literally, if you open it up, it looks like in one of them you literally find a rat like twirling around in a wheel with some like cartridges on the bottom, and then others you find like just literally a bunch of like bolts and things that they just literally threw into a box, and for some reason it worked. With like a barrel at the end of it, that kind of thing.
They believe it works. So
Yeah, they believe it works,
does.
so it does. Yeah.
I was actually hoping, by tricking them to accepting my flashlight, for them to have a really powerful weapon. By
If
believing
enough of
that,
them actually had believed it was a super powerful weapon, you probably would have given them like a super weapon. So. But it takes a shit ton of orcs to make something that's like utterly useless turn into anything relevant. So the only reason like their weapons work is because literally every trillions of orcs throughout the galaxy believe shoot as shoot. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why it works.
I do the burying ritual to the fallen soldiers.
I have to wipe my warp shenanigans healing to anyone who wants it.
So I think a bunch of people are injured. So I mean, it's up to you guys if you want to. Oh god, anyone who has their weapon jammed can just unjam their weapon because you'll have like an infinite amount of time basically to do it.
Cool.
Only Gabriel and Pipus did. So I offered my warp healings to them.
Do you guys want to get healed by Zarkov, or do you want someone to medicate you?
I'll have a heal.
Yeah. Well,
Alright, first one's for Phil. Does not go off. Can I try again?
I asked Zarkov to heal people far away from our food supplies and water.
Flo is physically moving as far as she can.
Alright, can I, if I fail to manifest it, can I try again? On the same person?
Fail to manifest a healing thing?
Yeah.
No, it counts for the healing thing. As in, like, if you do it again, it's super dangerous. You can do it again, but it follows the other rules, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, okay, now this one's Gabriel then.
Yeah.
And no one gets healed.
Wow. The Emperor was like, no! You have to shoot lightning, nothing else.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to try and medicate myself then, I think. Wait, does it become worse each time? Does it become worse each time, or should I go with Gabriel first then?
It becomes 10, yeah, you lose 10 each time. So.
Okay, well, I'll try out Gabriel first then. I had a med kit, so I'll probably be using that now.
Yep, so the med kit will work as standard.
Which is what, plus 10 to...
Well, is it in Tales of the Trade or Macarian?
I think it's plus 20. But let me check.
20.
I thought it was plus 20 as well, that's what I'm asking.
It's for Boone. Do we need to know my intelligence, which is 44?
What's your intelligence? 44, so I think he... Let me look up Medicaid again quick, because it's slightly different on this game. It's a skill... Yeah, first aid. I believe in characters. Okay, on a okay. Successful medication removes damage equal to your intelligence bonus, slightly when your targets. Okay, what's your intelligence bonus?
44.
Alright, you gain 4 wounds, Boone.
okay.
Is it extra because of the med kit or not?
Unless the med kit has anything, I don't think so. It's only like Space Marines have like super advanced medical equipment, like Artisium and stuff like that. Yeah, it only does everything else. They're like amputations, broken limbs, blood loss. So you can heal yourself, but he just gains 4 wounds. Okay. So Boone, the rest of your wounds are permanent until you can get like extensive Medicaid facilities, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Warp shenanigans heal them in 6 hours.
Yeah, you could potentially warp shenanigans in 6 hours.
Try healing myself as well.
I like that we say healing as warp shenanigans.
Of course, everything is warp shenanigans.
That's just plus 10. So I get 4 again?
Yeah, 4 again, yeah.
The full, yeah.
I think you lost 3 supplies there. I can't remember the exact rules for medkits.
I think it's 2 each time.
But if you get over a certain number of degrees of success, you
it halves it, yeah.
Yeah,
so it's 2 and 1.
It might be 3 degrees or 5 degrees. I can't remember which.
It's generally 3 degrees for additional things to happen in this game. So.
And it's like 3 used of 6, then I think.
Yeah.
3 or more degrees. He only uses half as many supplies as usual.
Yep.
Yeah, so you've got 17 left.
There's 17 in there.
Oh, like if you
There
count
was
that,
20 in there.
yeah, and each
Oh,
use
okay.
takes 2, and half takes 1.
And if the medic has access to reserves of medical supplies, the depleted medkit can be refilled for half the listed price of a new one.
Yeah, if he has access to them, which right now he doesn't. So, okay. So, I mean, do you guys want to loot the orcs, or do you just want to leave the bodies, or burn the bodies, or whatever?
No.
If I eat the orcs, what do I gain?
Nothing.
Oh.
Gain
Wait,
a
what
horrific
does-
yeast
Oh right, we're
infection.
not Space Marines. I forgot.
Wait, we do need more meat, right? Like, how does orcs taste if we cook them? Like,
Tastes like heresy.
Tastes like delicious
Mm.
mushrooms, like shiitake.
Delicious
Tastes like
heresy.
the Emperor's Fire.
You don't want to do that. Well, I mean, if you want to do it, go for it. But word to the wise, orc spores are generated when orcs die. Their bodies start to decompose into the fungi state they were from before.
we have an orc growing
So-
inside of us.
Yes, there has actually been reported cases of orcs popping out of human corpses.
Oh, lovely.
But-
Let's not do that
So
then.
we burn the bodies.
Yes.
That is standard Imperial protocol for people in the know of how orcs reproduce, because basically, in 100 years, the successors of these orcs will arise from their feral attitudes, start producing, what are those orcs called? Brain boys or whatever? Or weird boy? Not weird boy. Yeah, they'll start producing the other variations of orcs, like weird boys, brain boys, flash gits, and all the guys that like inherently understand orc technology. And they'll turn from feral orcs, which are basically just orc barbarians, into orcs that can understand how to make shooters and things like that. So, basically, the problem with orcs is, even when you destroy them, unless you put a ton of effort into eradicating the spores they release after like the huge battlefields of dead orcs are left, they'll inevitably within like 100 years or a couple of generations rise again and then remember everything that happened, because they have like a... Basically, the way orc society works is some of them develop weird traits where they just inherently understand how to make machinery, and those are the flash gits, who basically are like the engineers of the orcs, and they make all the equipment. So after about 100 years, like the orcs will just evolve again to the point where they remember how to make all their horrible equipment. So, and then they'll pose another massive threat to this world.
So we burn the corpses.
Well, yeah, if we have enough fuel in the flamer, if we have enough ammo for it.
It's still full. I haven't used it yet.
Just
Ah,
lightning
man.
something until it's on a light.
You can just carry them all together and then burn them.
Yeah, or just one of those fire bullets. I don't know.
It could actually.
Well, there's no sticks or stuff around here, so you'll need to like light them on fire with a flamer. So like, Demetris just orders this guy to like flame the shit out of him. If Mira wants to waste like a canister or something to do it as well, she can.
Yeah, I guess I would use a shot.
Yep. So he just starts burning them and they start getting toasty. That's about it. You guys bury the Imperial Guard Sergeant and the Imperial Guard guy who died as well.
By the way, do we know if any any other Imperial Guard regiments or anything have been called in due to the orc incursion?
Well, considering you guys before you came to this world didn't even know there was an orc incursion, it's very likely the wider Imperium doesn't know.
Okay.
Because it takes a long time for information to disseminate
Yeah.
throughout the Imperium. Like, literally, something that happens in the Segmentum Ultima might not be known about in the Segmentum Obscura for like 1,000 years, because it takes that long for information to travel, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Alright. So, that, on top of the fact that the light of the Astronomicon has been dimmed and astropathic communication is getting hard in this system, like I described to you before, it's very unlikely anyone outside of this world, or maybe the closer systems, know that what's going on here. So it could take literally years for the Imperial Guard to react with enough reinforcements to like quell the orc thing. So for the next few generations, it's very likely this planet will be plagued by minor orc warbands. So
Alright.
thus the
Yeah.
inefficiency of the Imperium.
The
It is very
Tau
slow.
are right.
It's very slow to react to anything.
How much does it cost, Exterminatus? How much crown geld?
The Imperium very rarely exterminates its planets, despite like the common theory that they just blow up anything willy-nilly. They do it as a pure last resort. So
Like, is the only most of it is Tyranids is what they exterminate as planets, isn't it? So they don't get the actual...
The only real reasons they exterminate as planets are if a world is deemed completely lost to the Tyranids, so they exterminate us so they can't consume the biomass. If the world is deemed to know information too heretical or forbidden for the wider Imperium, that if anyone got off the world and even just spread rumors by word of mouth, it could potentially infect other worlds with like heretical ideologies or knowledge of the warp they shouldn't know. So, for instance, on Armageddon, like the First War of Armageddon, which is one of the biggest wars in the Imperium, when the demon Primarch Angron of the World Eaters came to that world and invaded it, and the Space Wolves and the Grey Knights basically beat them back, almost like wiping out their own. I think the Grey Knights lost an entire company of Grey Knights defeating Angron, and the Space Wolves lost like the equivalent of like 2 or 3 great chapters or something, or great companies as they call them. They then, the Inquisition then deemed that every normal human who had survived the planet had to spend the rest of their lives in work camps and be sterilized. And then when the population had died off, a new population would be transplanted to the planet that had no knowledge of the events, if you know what I mean. The Space Wolves had to be mind purged so that they didn't remember what happened. And, all the Grey Knights died, but they would have known about it anyway. But the Space Wolves had issue with this because they didn't want these people to randomly be sterilized and worked to death for the rest of their lives. So that entered the big whole thing where the Space Wolves temporarily rebelled against the Inquisition and a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, the Inquisition generally, when they deem a world beyond recovery for one reason or another, will declare exterminatus. So generally, when it's too big a threat to keep alive to the wider Imperium, if you know what I mean. But very rarely that happens. So, and by rarely I mean it's happened like a couple tens of thousand times.
So not one orc. Okay, let's blow up the planet.
Yeah, it's more like I don't even think it's actually very rare they would exterminate us an orc WoW planet, because the Imperium has this theory that's actually proven correct for a good deal of time, that even if a planet falls to an orc WoW, so long as it's not like tactically massively significant, it's generally better just to leave the orcs there, because they're more likely to, once they run out of humans to kill, to fight between themselves and just like annihilate each other, or become to the point where they never leave that planet, if you know what I mean. So it's better just to let them like fuck with each other, because the orcs' worst enemy is themselves, because when they run out of other people to fight, they inevitably kill each other. So right. So what do you guys want to do now? Demetris is determined to continue on, but he stops for a moment and asks you to come over and talk with him, whoever wants to talk with him, or whoever your leader is. I think you decided it was Victus, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes out a map and displays it on the ground. It's like the orbital imagery picked captures from like the Imperial Navy as they surveyed the battlefields a couple of months earlier. And he shows you the maze where you're getting through and where you've exited, or where at least he believes you've exited the canyon. And then he sways his hand over the field in front of you, shows you the large city of Verthan, which is your goal, and he shows you the country in between. And you can see that there's a number of large rivers, some minor cities and settlements and things like that, and a large sort of primeval wood in the middle. And he basically gives you the rundown, Victus, since you weren't here when the war started, or when the Imperial Guard arrived. Basically, Verthan was being sieged. The enemy noble houses, the trader houses, had basically taken over the entirety of this countryside. So he basically just gives you the rundown that the first 1.5 years of the war was basically pushing them through this countryside and through the forest. And even though it's been secured, the Imperial Guard doesn't really have a large group of units to secure this area. They mostly patrol the roads and the the highways and other main areas of Ingress, rather than like the villages or the minor cities and things like that. They mostly just keep the supply routes to the front line open. But they go through dangerous territory that would have taken too long to traverse, like a month. So that's why he went through the canyons, blah 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 blah. So he gives you 3 options. You can either head through the minor villages and cities, which he says a few of them were loyalist, but a great many of them had compromised or very rapidly shifting allegiances, so he's not sure if it's safe to go through these small cities and towns. There might be small Imperial Guard forces stationed there or planetary defense forces. He doesn't really know. He says perhaps we could go through the forest. If we were to go through the forest, there's not really any very significant predators on Thadia that you couldn't deal with. He does say that after the Imperial Guard swept through the area and this battlefield was basically left for a few months, a great deal of outcasts and basically thieves and murderers started to move into the area and rob travelers trying to get to Verthan to seek shelter from the war. So it might be dangerous to go through the forest because it's known to be plagued by bandits. Or you guys could try and head south toward the main thoroughfare to Vertand. It will take the longest time, but it's probably the safest route because you could probably meet with an Imperial Guard transport convoy there that might be able to give you a lift to Vertand, but it's the longest route. So you can either go through the cities, which might be dangerous, might be good. He doesn't know what the situation is there because some of them were allied, some of them weren't, and they had changed allegiance a couple of times. The forest, which is probably the quickest route, but maybe full of bandits, but maybe you could avoid them if you were stealthy, or to head south for a week and hit the main highway thing, or the main road. It's up to you which way you want to go.
Yeah, basically it's just choosing high risk versus time.
Yeah, time, high risk, opportunity, it's all part of it basically. So
I say, my good son, or my good man, if we were to go to the cities, surely the traitors also still have Imperial Guard, equipment and uniforms. Just say you're defecting, or you have defected, and we're simply passing through. Get to a more strategic location.
he shakes his head and says the planetary defense forces of Thadia are mostly composed of levies from the noble houses. A great many of them have you would actually notice a great many of them actually have very different looking gear to Imperial Guard.
I wouldn't know.
These guys are Cadians, so they have a very standard thing. But if you look at the only war book and look at the different regiments in there, you'll realize that even though everyone is called Imperial Guard, almost every regiment and PDF in the Imperium has different ways of dressing and looking, if you know what I mean. I know you played Dawn of War and you see the standard Imperial Guard, but they're all based off Cadia, if you know what I mean. Yeah. There's the Voister Firstborn, they all look radically different, if you know what I mean. So these Imperial Guard don't look anything like the planetary defense forces, if you know what I mean. So if they were to go up and say, oh yeah, we're defecting or something, it could either go very well or absolutely terrible, if you know what I mean, depending upon who you're talking to. So just so you know that.
Well, okay, I guess I'll rephrase it. If we go for the equipment, if we go for the cities or small towns, surely we could just stay on the outskirts of it and go around it, and then send in someone not dressed in Imperial Guard, or say a tech priest, or Flo there to go retrieve more equipment and ammunition and supplies for us.
Yeah, he nods and says yes, that's a very good possibility. Perhaps we could even commandeer some sort of transport to make it easier. If that's the way you want to go, that's my men and I will acquiesce to your knowledge in this matter.
That is my suggestion. Let us hear from others of my cadre, or the cadre. By saying my cadre, does it refer to that I am part of it or I own it?
Either one, really.
Alright.
So we are agreeing to go to the villages and cities.
Unless anyone has objections or another way they want to do it.
I mean, that's the medium risk, medium time one.
Yep. Generally, it could be high risk, you never know.
Well, I was partial to going through the forest because if we do encounter some bandits, they're probably starving and have bad equipment anyway, so they're probably not going to be a huge threat to us.
Yeah,
we're
but we are not.
We need to resupply out of city if need be.
And we are not stealthy. They could easily ambush us.
Yeah. It doesn't take a lot to knock down an Imperial Guard, or even us, for example.
And I could easily talk with if we find noble men forces. I could talk with them.
From what I've heard of this world, they seem to still worship the God Emperor. So if Victus claimed that these men were an escort of his, they would hopefully respect that he is an ecclesiarchy and not attack him and let us pass through.
Yeah, but, I mean, I'm both a nobleman and a cleric, so that's +2. So yeah, it's a good idea to go to the villages and resupply.
Okay, so is everyone okay with the villages?
Yep, and everyone likes money, and I have money, so I could bribe them.
Okay. Right, so let me just zoom to this map. This is the city you're actually trying to get to, Verthan. It's the capital city with the big statue of the God Emperor in the middle there. So you guys spend the next 2 or so days coming down from the Canyon Pass into the sort of grass and plain lands of Thadia. You go through a number of small villages. Most of them pay no mind or no attention to you. If you want to stop here, they're sort of scarce on food because of the war. But if you want to buy food and stuff, it could be possible to buy food here relatively cheaply. If you want to do that. Besides that, these small villages don't really have anything else. There's a couple of larger cities, several miles down the road that once you get to, you could perhaps get some equipment. But right now, if you want to, if you're desperate for food, which you guys kind of are because you were running out of food pretty rapidly, you could perhaps even steal food if you wanted to, or just buy whatever you can. Though that you can tell immediately that these people have very little of anything, considering the war has essentially devastated them. So if you were to buy anything off them, they may charge exorbitant prices for the food, if you know what I mean.
I know someone who's very rich in our party.
Is there any I guess all of the livestock around the area is just basically gone or dead?
Most of it's been either taken by the Imperial Guard, or before them taken by the traitor PDF defense forces, or stolen by bandits, or taken by nobles or whatever else. So there's almost no livestock of any kind left. There's the odd grox, or maybe another super sort of productive beast that the Imperium uses. But other than that, it seems like it's been mostly devastated. They seem to survive on mass-produced, high-quality strain cereal plants and things like that, if you know what I mean? Like most of the Imperium.
I will do a barter to see if I could get a good price.
Sure.
Maybe I'll just scare him with wait, could I... I'm gonna try and suggest whoever, if I can, to allow him to take things at a cheaper price or something. You'll let me do that.
Yeah, that would be a barter test, I think.
But I meant by a suggestion of my warp shit.
Oh,
okay.
Yes, then that's different,
Yeah. So, here we go. It goes off, and I believe it allows him to get a +20 on tests like that.
Can you find it for me, just to be sure?
Yeah, it's Purple of the Dark Gods, that one. I will post it in chat. Here you go.
If it's a +20, I get a 0. If I do not gain it, I'll reroll with a fate.
Yeah. In chat one, by the way. Well, that's the special part of it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you would have got a 0, right? So it's a barter against him.
And if I fail, I would like to reroll if possible.
Yeah. So you're discussing with the village's aldersman, who's basically in charge of dealing with outsiders and things like that. No, so you actually barter them down pretty well. It seems that despite the fact that they're desperate for food, they're also desperate for coin to buy other amenities. So they will sell you food. You can buy enough food for all of you to last the rest of your journey for about 75 throne gold. So that's enough for a lot of you. So
bargain.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, the Emperor appreciates this bargain, and throne gold goes out of my pocket.
Okay, so they hand you several large sacks of food, prepared meals, things like that. None of it is particularly appetizing, especially to you, because you've eaten a lot better food, Victus, since you're a noble. It's like pure peasant food. It's basically the equivalent of what you would expect, like, various livestock animals would have been fed instead of humans, if you know what I mean. But it will get you through, the few weeks ahead, basically.
The sacrifices I do for the good of mankind.
Do I like the food?
Anyone who was born in a shithole loves that shit. It's actually better. If you were born in a hive world, it's actually better than everything you've ever tasted because it's actually real food.
I'm used to corpse storage rations, aren't I? So...
Yeah, so it's actually better food than that.
What about Voidborn? Like, what they have?
They would probably have something similar depending upon whether or not you're like noble Voidborn of any kind. So.
What about Forge Worlds?
You wouldn't care. Because tech priests literally don't give a shit about what food tastes like.
They have no sense of taste.
Forge Worlds literally have cantinas, which they call food processors, which are basically they just release paste, and everyone on the Forge World just eats paste that contains like all the food and stuff you need. So
Highly productive, but
this gives me the nutrients I require to survive.
Yeah. Like, it gets to the point some tech priests don't even eat. They just have, like, intravenous paste dispensers in their bodies that, like, inject them with it.
They have no concern for flavor.
And once we get the food, we kill everyone.
Yeah. Alright, so you guys leave the village and continue on, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, so no one has navigation, right?
I'd like to... Before we go, I'd like to make is it an inquiry or charm to ask for information, like if there are bandits down the road and stuff like that.
Inquiry, very much inquiry.
Would you still get a +20 since I've made him like us?
You made a suggestion that he should barter lower, not that he should tell you any information.
Alright.
Could I help with this?
Yeah, someone can assist first. You're gonna go through the village inquiring with a bunch of people, so yeah. That's basically what inquiry is.
No modifiers, or was there one?
No modifier, yeah.
Oh.
Unless you have some bonus to fellowship I don't know about.
No.
Yep, so no bonus to you, George, just base fellowship. Base inquiries, yeah.
Yep, I do not know anything.
Okay, so you asked about the villagers, but most of them, just apologize and say they haven't really left their village. Some of them have literally never left their village in their life. They had, the very fact that you're outsiders is like the wonder of the village, if you know what I mean. Despite there's a fact of war going on, the only, outsiders they saw were the odd Imperial Guardsmen who were either trying to kill them or, simply ran through their village, grabbing whatever they could before they continued on with the army, so...
Seeing this is my thing, I'm going to reroll to see if I can get more information. I don't want to get ambushed.
Okay. Alright, so you talk quite a bit. They tell you in great detail about the next few villages. They tell you, who's well, this is based on their opinion. They tell that, trade with these guys, don't go to them, they're stingy, there's no point in talking to them. These guys are like, they haven't got anything, their village got burned out a few months ago and they're barely surviving. They tell you about a few larger villages/cities along the way to Verthan, and they do tell you to stick to the roads as best as you can, because there has been bandits from other villages. Also, with the lack of a planetary defense force, or Imperial Guard to really keep, or Arbitas or whatever, to really keep order in the villages since they're focused on the war. Some of the villages that have been reduced to nothing have resorted to raiding their neighbors for food and supplies. So it's a pretty dangerous time to say the least. So they do give you some places to avoid. They give you their paths that they take to the next villages to trade, but they only trade with the next 3 or so villages, and they almost never leave this area, if you know what I mean. So they do give you a safe route ahead. They warn you about a couple of bandits, and just to be careful, basically, that kind of thing. So if you guys can, does anyone have navigation? And you'll get a bonus now because you know what to avoid and things like that.
I have navigation stellar, so can I just find the North Star and follow that?
No, navigation
you can't
stellar
see
is...
the North Star.
Well, no,
there's literally no North Star in this world. Yeah.
I only have a compass orienter, but I do not have navigation. So if
You
I
can
forgot.
let Demetris do it.
Yeah.
He has navigation, yeah.
So
Okay.
he'll get the compass.
Okay, it's plus 10 or 20, is it?
I don't remember. Let me check on the book.
Okay.
Plus 10.
Okay.
Or at the GM discretion.
Yeah. Alright, well, he actually gets it anyway, so... He fought through some of this area while he was here, apparently, and he knows a good bunch of the maps. He doesn't know how the territory has changed in the year and a half since he's been here, but with the help of the villagers and their descriptions, he gets you a pretty solid road. So for the next 5 or 6 days, you guys camp out every couple of hours. He doesn't force you to march quite so much as he did through like the horrible canyons and stuff you went through before, because he believes you're in safer territory and things like that, but he still wants to make haste. After about 5 or 6 days, has any of you got a Voxcaster on you?
I believe I
Yeah.
have one, yes.
Yeah.
He has.
Okay, so for the first time in like nearly the, more than half a month you've been traveling, you finally start to pick up the Vox frequencies. You pick up like thousands of them, mostly from Imperial Guard regiments, from Verthan, from various cities. You even find like literally news stations and music radio stations and things like that. So it seems you've gotten out of the disruption field, and you can now make Vox transmissions if you so choose to.
I'd like to Ficus to contact or leave a message to our Interrogator Tyrus, just to give a rundown of what's happening.
Okay, so you
I do so.
make a tech use test then.
Plus anything? Not at all?
It'll be plus 10 because you're familiar with technology.
Cool.
The combi tool.
No, the combi tool wouldn't come into play.
Oh.
Unless he was trying to fix or open or repair something or whatever.
Wow.
You can reroll it, I guess. if you have a
Wonderful.
reroll.
Don't
Thank
have
you.
one.
You don't have a free point?
No, he doesn't actually, yeah.
So I guess I suggest is
Wait.
that just
I have a
that one?
mind impulse unit, which is a plus 10 to tech use tests, and I did not have that. But
Yeah.
still, that's only...
Still wouldn't have worked yet.
Yeah.
So you fail to break through like the myriad of transmissions or to like get a lockdown. You argue for a while with the various Vox command officers to try to get through to an Interrogator Tyrus, but most of them have no fucking clue what you're talking about or who the hell you are. Some of them think you're like spies and things like that, and you basically argue for like the better part of 2 or 3 hours with a bunch of random comm officers sitting somewhere, and you get pretty much nowhere.
Good,
I asked for their names so they can be executed later.